This new moon is here to hand you your orders, like a divine help from the universe, from the cosmos, to help you take root in your extravaganza desires and dreams. Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about Taurus new moon that's gonna happen on the 7th or the 8th, depending on your time zone. And this new moon is a very lucky one. It's here to give you like many things that you've been working towards, and it is finally materializing in your physical reality, and you will be witnessing during this full moon, give and take a couple of days. People say like 5 days before and 5 days after, to tangibly see some results that is taking shape in your very eyes. Before I get on with the new moon, I would like to share a very important piece of information with you. And this information is actually the roots in this, the fundamentals, why I am actually recording these energy reports. And that's why it is very important for me. And I really want you to keep this information in your mind. If you don't want to listen to it, you can always use the timestamps and then jump to the new moon explanation. These videos are the energy readings, energy reports, guided intuitive messages that I share with you about the current energy around that specific astrological event, and this time it is the new moon in Taurus. So I want you to one more time remember and listen to these videos from this light of this information. Astrology used to be, and in a sense still, a very important part of my life. Through astrology channels and astrologers, I get into understanding and making deeper sense of the universe and my, the part in the universe and what's its effect on our lives. Astrology was something almost like a doorway that opened in front of me and in my life and led me to explore more about esoteric stuffs and spirituality and so on and so forth. So maybe you are also standing in a place where I'm standing, but more and more I listen to these like astrological horoscopes, forecasts, daily, weekly, monthly, full moon, new moon, eclipses and all. I've realized that, there are like two sides of these coins. Because if you gave your energy to these interpretations of various astrologers, and if you are channeling into this video probably during those important times of these like full moons, new moons and eclipses, you channel and listen to as much as videos and information on YouTube just to make sense of what's going on and just to feel a little bit control of your reality and your future, mostly knowing that what's going to happen for you in the future, if you're going to prevail, if you're going to win or lose or whatever it is. So that is one side of the coin. And if you cannot discern the place that you put astrology in your life, it may drain your energy. It may make you feel like you are the victim and you're not the operant power in your life, that astrology is something that is controlling all your life. No matter what you do, you cannot change your, let's say, fate, your future or whatever. So the more I get into the spiritual teachings, esoteric stuff, the more I get this sense of I am the operant power, I am the creator of my own reality, no matter what happens on the outside of myself, on my life. The more I change my perspective and the way how I look at astrology. That doesn't mean that astrology become less important or become less, let's say, it didn't lose its meaning. I don't want to put astrology in a place where I don't want to diminish its value, and I still believe that and it's still very valuable, but I changed my perspective and the way how I used it in my life. Because if you don't make this distinction, one interpretation or forecast of a specific time, and if it's negative, let's say this interpretation is like negative, you may just stick to it and it may like take you into a downward spiral, and you may think about it, give your all attention to it, and then what would happen at the end is just that in that forecast will become your reality, and then you will come and say that, okay, you see, I knew it. I listened to this forecast and I know that I will lose money, I will break up, I will lose my health, or well, I won't be succeeding finding a job, or the job that I found around this time, because there are like specific transits happening, it's not going to be long term. So these are the type of things probably you're dealing with when you're listening to any of these forecasts, and you just like listen to it while you're like sitting on the edge of the chair while you're listening. I hope that he or she is not gonna give a bad news. Or I hope he or she will give me the good news, like give me the green like light so that I can move forward with my life, and so on and so forth. So that part was like a very challenging thing about astrology. I couldn't give up listening to astrology forecasts, but I also couldn't I didn't want to give my attention to these like doom and gloom scenarios most of the time and from time to time. So I decided that how can I turn astrology into my advantage? Because I mean, if you're not looking into your like chart like specifically, and if you're not looking at it with the help of the astrologer every month, every week, and specifically for your astrology chart, you will probably listen to very general forecasts, and these general forecasts may go in every direction. Like 50% you will fail, 50% you will win. And then I come to a point that, okay, how can I turn this into my advantage? Because at the end of the day, everything in life, and this is the beautiful gift, I guess, the universe and this universal energies that nobody actually knows how they really work, is the best part of about that universal forces is whatever you believe to be true, it is true for you. I mean, that doesn't mean that whatever you believe will make sense to other people. And because it doesn't make sense to other people, that doesn't make them less prominent in your life. So what do I mean by that is the astrology and whatever they forecast about the future might be correct for like thousands of people. But if you do not believe in that, or if you don't choose to put your attention to it, if you choose not to believe in it, if you choose not to make that thing to be true for your own life, then it is not going to be true for you. You can be the deliberate creator of your own reality. This is the standpoint that you need to put yourself if you want to accomplish that. And no matter what is happening on the outside, doesn't matter what it is, if you want to keep moving in your own path and carving your own path, then you need to have a very, very discerning way of looking at life. I came to this conclusion through the hardships. If you are not strong in your foundation, you will mostly, you'll tend to pick up the negatives than the positives. You listen to the positive and you always think that, okay, this forecast, it talks about like positive things about my sign, but it never happens to me. The next day you listen to it and it says like a lot of negative things about the future, and you just take them at the face value and you believe to be true. You just give them like the high possibility to be realized in your life. And what happens the next day is like you're faced with the similar, whatever that astrologer says to be true happens in your life. And then you say, you see, astrology is correct. And I don't mean that astrology, is not correct. Like, it is a science. It is an ancient wisdom. Well, people say that I don't know about the science part, but I know that it's an ancient wisdom. Throughout the human history, people were taking huge helps from astrology. But what I'm trying to say here is you are still the operant power of your life. You may face with a, let's say, challenging forecast about a specific full moon or an eclipse or a monthly horoscope forecast. But if you have this knowing in your life that no matter what is happening on my outside circumstances, I am still the creator of my own reality, and I am the alchemist of my life. So no matter what challenges happens, I have the power to alchemize everything and then still continue moving forward with my own path, knowing that the destination is certain. But it's not that important either, because what's important is the journey. Who I become during that journey is the most important factor in my life. No matter what kind of forecast you listen to, read about astrology, it could not get into your skin. You will still discern which to take in and believe, and which to refuse, or like not refuse, but okay, no matter what, doesn't matter. No matter what happens, I trust myself that I have the strong enough roots in my own being, in my spirituality, that I will still have the power to go on and continue in my journey. This new moon is here to help us take root in the reality that we have created for ourselves. What does that mean? You know, when it comes to manifesting, we first create the desired reality, the circumstances, events that we want to have on a physical, on the non-physical level. So which is, Abrahamics call it, is the vibrational reality. So everything that we want to have happens, given, realized on an energetic vibrational level, and then by taking the necessary actions on the physical level and by increasing our natural energy set point to a high vibrational levels, which is actually the equivalent of this desired vibrational reality that we've created. And then slowly and slowly we'll start to see the evidences of that vibrational reality becoming realized in our physical reality. So that is the basics of manifestation in general. So with this full moon, this vibrational reality that we've been working for a while during this past couple of months, since the beginning of this year, or could even be like a long time to come, depending on your situation. And now we're seeing the first evidences of that vibrational reality taking root in our physical reality. That's a very good news, because, you know, at the end of the day, we have this body, a physical body, as a vessel in this three-dimensional world that we live in. And we're not here to only desire and dream about the things that we want to enjoy, but we are here to manifest them in our physical reality as well. So that is why this new moon is a wonderful cosmic help coming from the universe to give us this chance to take these tangible actions towards that desired reality that we've been like working on, and immediately to see the results taking root and becoming like tangible. See it, hear it, taste it, smell it in our 3D world. So the Taurus is the earth sign, and it's a very solid sign of the zodiac. It's like the mountain. So that's why it is very much like an equivalent of these tangible things in our lives. So if you have been working towards securing a job opportunity, it is that job that you sign the contracts, you start to, go to that office like every day, 9 to 5, or like securing that job, Or if you've been looking for your health situation to turn around, that is the Taurus energy, is that, this the test results that are like positive, you know, it's finally there, it's finally here in your life. I mean, when I say tangible, this is what I mean. So it's a very fortunate time, and probably like many things that you've been working for, well, you'll see the first signs almost like this in the springtime, your life becoming so active. You will get out of this stagnation, you will get out of the stuckness in your life that might be going on for a while. Another theme that I'm picking up for this new moon in Taurus is solid new beginnings. That's correct. But because the sign of Taurus is the most, probably most slow moving sign, and it's, you know, the hard to change signs. But when it moves, because it has this nature of like solidity and all, when it moves, it really moves. So that is why during this time, the things that you started will have a long lasting, things that you have like evaluated for a long time, come to a conclusion that that's it, there's no turning back. So it's a very fortunate time to really start things and see the solid changes coming after that, because the how things start, how things probably will go. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to make concrete statements, but what you do one thing is what you do everything. So if you really have a firm start on something, and if you're 100% in it and behind it, then probably everything that you will do about that thing in the future to come will also have a very strong, solid, you know, characteristics. If there are things that you've been entertaining in your mind for a long time, but you haven't started it, then it's a very, very good time to give them a chance. For example, you know that I have this book Instagram account that I focus on the books and the book reviews and all, mostly about the manifestation books. That's why the name of the account is like the Manifest with Books. And my first book that I've chosen to focus on that account was the 5 a.m. Club from Robin Sharma. And I mean, that in that book there were like, even though it's like a motivational type of book that advises you to like, you know, earn your mornings, elevate your life type of motto that it has. So I was away from the main message of that book, because I had this feeling that if I really want to show my followers that this is what it is, this is what like this book is like discussing, I felt like I had to start waking up at 5 a.m. and then showing them how my life has changed. But I wasn't ready to do that. But recently I had a chance to wake up early in the morning due to a health issue. And I woke up and I felt beautiful, wonderful. And I thought to myself like, okay, I guess it is time for me to really take control of my routines. And I was like also listening to Mind Valley courses and all about the productivity and all. Even though I'm not a very like huge fan of like productivity stuff, like one side of myself like very impressed by those things, but the other side of myself, a more spiritual part of, wants to honor my own rhythm and like not hostage by motivational type of productive stuff. I was kind of like juggling in between. I need to take a very honest and fresh look at my daily routines, because I realized that, I mean, there are a lot of things that I want to create, but also I'm like taking things very, very slow. And I'm not a late night person, and I go to bed early, but I also start my day kind of late as well. Not as early as I want to, because of that like health issue that stood me up very early one day. I can like really like use it as a leverage and then implement it into my daily routine. Taurus new moon, and it's a very fortunate time if I really want to do that. And I've been discussing about it and thinking about it, and I've read this book like, almost like a year. And I guess now it is the time. I've been entertaining that idea of like waking up early and arranging my schedule in a more productive way. This is the time. This is the green light from the universe. So if you have something like that, like very tangible, very down to earth things about your daily routines or your life in general, it could be like anything, but very tangible, very down to earth, nothing special, but all these like little things makes the huge differences in our life. The change doesn't have to be like a very big and shiny on a paper, or these little changes makes a huge differences. And this is a time to make those like little changes but also big potential. I encourage you to focus on that and take a fresh look at your daily lives, and then change it in a way that will have a solid effect on your life. Okay, to wrap up, I also want to share a piece of information that I believe is very important. No matter what influences that you're under during this new moon in Taurus, it just has a totally different effect on each of us, because depending on our unique birth charts, is happening according to the plan that we are a part of. Actually, we cannot differentiate our own path and our own belief system, the universe's plans for our life. So it's just a huge mystical blend of things. So know that whatever comes your way, it is for your highest good. Don't take anything on the face value, but know that like whatever happens will have a very big, profound effect in your life for the future. Nothing is like happening like this in this now. Like no matter what's happening in your life, it didn't create it in just one single moment and in just one single day. There is a background of that story, and there is also a future, and you're like standing in the here and the now. And the present moment is very important, because the level of consciousness that you can bring to this level defines the characteristics of the type of future that will come to you. Take what it resonates with you, and willingly, and no shame, no guilt, energy residue if it doesn't resonate with you, or even if it's proven that it's correct for true for your life, is true, you put your attention to. Even if you like listen to like good things, if you don't believe that they will, good or bad, have a power through your attention, you are the one making it optimistic. You are the one interpreting it as something negative. Never forget that you have the utmost power in your own life. If you like this conversation, join my private newsletter group for free, or follow me on my social channels. I put the links down below. Yeah, I would like to see you there for more interactions and connections. Until then, I wish all of you a happy new moon in Taurus, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.